Welcome to DeliverThat's headquarters located in Canton, Ohio. If you've never heard of them before, it's probably because you're not a gig worker or you haven't been looking in the right places, because this is one of the largest catering delivery platforms out there right now.
Hello, sir.
How we doing?
I'm pretty good.
Should I be looking at you or the camera?
You can be looking at me or the camera.
All right.
Well, how about I put both of us in
Yeah,
the camera?
I like that.
What's up, Ben?
Not much, man.
What's your position at DeliverThat?
I'm the content coordinator. So I basically anything in the media realm. We obviously got the YouTube channel, Instagram.
Video editing.
Yeah. So we got some editing. We got the shorts and the spotlights kind of going on right here. Is the driver Reno from Orlando. He won the March Mania contest back in March, so we did the spotlight with him. It's coming out in a couple weeks here in May, and it was actually his anniversary on the platform too. Two-year anniversary, just like yourself.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So do you do like any like marketing, social media type stuff?
In terms of social media, so we got, if you want to flash here, we got our guy Nate down in the office. He's the other one on the podcast. He works up in Cleveland. Stays up with his fiance, brand new fiance, up in Cleveland. Congratulations. But he is down here for tonight. We have the live show, so he's going to be on the ones and twos behind the scene for the live show. But he's our social guy, so he's the one scheduling the posts, running the captions, replying to comments most of the time. That's going to be your guy. So if the DT accounts ever get a little feisty, you get a response that you don't enjoy or don't appreciate, he's your guy. That's who's coming back out.
All right, well, Nate, we're going to need some explanations about this feistiness.
Never feisty. Never feisty.
Never feisty?
Never feisty.
Never feisty. Okay, so give us a little insight on like, how things can get from DeliverThat's perspective on social media.
Absolutely, yeah. So our main goal at DeliverThat is obviously to showcase our best in service delivery drivers that we have, while also just positioning ourselves as thought leaders in the industry. So what you'll see this year coming up is a lot more of industry focused content, not so, just focus on DeliverThat, but, expanding our focus to the gig economy.
All right. These two are online a lot. Right? All right, so I appreciate both of you. Time to move on to the next person. All right, say bye.
See you.
What's up, Darren?
What's up, my man?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I'm great, brother. How are
Mind
you
if
doing?
I close the door?
Please.
All right.
Please.
All right, so for those that don't know, what is your position at DeliverThat?
I am president and CEO at DeliverThat.
Okay, so with the company, well, how long have you been the CEO?
CEO for three and some change.
Okay.
And then I was president before, head of sales, all the way back to the humble beginnings as a driver.
Humble beginnings.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, for those that do not know, would you mind sharing your vision for the company and, like say the next 5 years?
Yeah, so I think that let me mute this for you real quick. You gotta have a little Pat McAfee going, right? I think that the vision for the company is really just to expand on the foundation that we have right now, right? Being a company by drivers, for drivers, having great individuals like yourself being a part of this business.
Hey, you talking about me?
And being able to come out here, see what we're about, see everybody in person, not just over the phone, realize that everybody here is a human being. They want the best interest of the drivers, etc. But just expand on that, amplify it, make it at a lot bigger scale. We had some dinner last night, and I told you the stage got bigger and the lights got brighter, right? Yeah. So I think that every year we're going to continue to raise the bar, and with the ultimate goal to provide more opportunities to you guys as drivers, more income, all of that stuff, but doing it the right way and treating you guys right like people, which is very misrepresented in this industry.
Yeah, I totally get it. All right, so to be honest with you, I deal with a lot of drivers on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And they always ask, what about oversaturation? What about oversaturation? Even if I may say things like, it's not their focus to oversaturate. Yeah. They're just trying to meet the demand. They're still concerned about oversaturation. What can you say to a driver that's watching this right now? In your own words, hey, just let's keep the wheels turning. Let's focus on the right things.
Yeah. Oversaturation, it's a interesting conversation and topic. I got to credit it to people like you, right? And I don't say it's as a bad thing. It's just as you grow, your brand grows with you, and so does the name, right? And then the gig economy, it's a very close-knit community. So if somebody starts a new gig and they hear about it, they're going to tell their friends and other people that they know within the industry, and it's going to kind of spread and then amplify within the market, especially if you're treating people right. It's the best compliment that I could have as an operator of a business, that, hey, people want to be on your platform. But now it's our job to be able to make sure that every single person that is on our platform gets a fair chance and opportunity to be able to leverage this platform to make some money, right? So oversaturation is going to happen, but that just means that I need to do a better job of getting more partners, more deliveries, more opportunities for drivers. And I was able to talk to you a little bit last night that I think this is a year, I truly believe this is a year that you're going to be able to see the breakthrough, all of that. It's not cliche. It's not me just sitting on the mic just bullshitting people saying, hey guys, we're going to get you more orders, right? We had to go through a lot of hurdles, a lot of obstacles to be able to provide the accessibility piece of it, to then be able to say, hey, the brands that have the orders, we're now accessible to them, right? And we've done that. Our tech team has done a hell of a job. And I'm glad that we got them. Matt Benzel, Matt Pavkov, Tristan's out there right now. They've done a great job of making us accessible to brands that want to use us. So now it's, can we deliver on who we are, right? Everybody knows the hype. Everybody knows what we do. But when we are accessible and they do have the opportunity to send us deliveries, are we able to follow through and live up to that expectation? So I truly believe that this is the year that you're going to be able to see that.
Okay. So in other words, the way I'm going to translate what you just said is, drivers, be patient. They're working on stuff.
Yeah. Right? I don't want to give you the whole spiel, the political answers, etc., but that's genuinely my answer. I firmly believe in giving context and understanding the why behind things. Because, I mean, you've all heard a bullshit answer where it's like, hey, don't worry, we're on it. And then you never see a resolution. Unfortunately, at this scale, things take a lot more time. So providing more details and more backstory to it, hopefully gives you guys some more confidence in the words that you hear.
All right. Well, awesome. I appreciate your time, sir.
I appreciate you.
And what's for dinner?
I don't know. I made it last night for fajitas, and it was worth the wait.
Okay.
But,
all right.
Yeah. How was lunch? You guys get
lunch? Was awesome. Yeah. We have a place down in Miami that's called Naf that I frequent every now and then, and this place was a step above Naf.
It's good. It's good food. It is.
So I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, it's good. That's why I texted you. I was like, hey, they couldn't do it, but you got to go get lunch there. So I'm glad it was good.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you just put a clapping emoji in the comment section right now for the CEO of DeliverThat, and he is working on giving us a better experience and more orders. More orders means more money. So, appreciate your time, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good, my man. How are you?
Mitch, you mind if I call you that?
I don't care.
All right. All right. What's your position at DeliverThat?
Director of Delivery and Driver Operations.
And what does that mean?
That kind of means I oversee all of our day-to-day operations as far as giving driver support, the routing of their deliveries, making sure that they're getting there on time, reporting to stores and whatnot as well. And then I oversee also our recruiting process as far as when drivers are being onboarded to the platform, kind of oversee those operations as well.
Okay. Yeah. What about so take us through a day of yours. Like, what's like a busy day looking like?
A busy day like today is honestly getting my hands dirty and helping the team out a lot more. So as far as kind of like wipe the day of all like managerial tasks, as far as one-on-ones, reviewing things like that, and making sure the team's getting better, to actually just kind of rolling up the sleeves and getting back in there and helping with whatever's needed.
Okay. All right. Earlier I saw you were like on a call. Was it like a last minute situation?
No. So actually that call earlier, a driver just hadn't marked their job underway. And so we have kind of two checks before pickup. If at 45 minutes you're not marked available on the app, we're going to give you a ring, just make sure everything's good. And in the same breath, if the job isn't marked underway, 20 minutes to pick up, same thing. We're going to pick up the phone and give you a ring. So end of the day, if you're checking those two boxes, we'll leave you alone and let you make some money.
So how many times have you called me, sir?
Called you personally?
Yeah.
I think 0.
I love that.
I think 0.
All right, so again, this is Mitch. Just for the camera, one more time. What's your position?
Director of Delivery and Driver Operations.
That was a mouthful. I couldn't repeat it.
No worries. No worries, brother.
I appreciate your time,
Yep.
brother. All right, here you go, sir. All right, here we have Phil.
How you doing, everybody?
All right, Phil, what's your position at DeliverThat?
I am the supervisor here in the driver ops department.
Okay, and what are your responsibilities?
My job is to make sure that we have everybody in the proper place to respond to drivers who need immediate assistance, live delivery support. It's our job to make sure that they feel the assistance.
Okay, when you say feel, I saw the emphasis on
Absolutely.
that. Like, what do you mean feel? Like, what?
Just engaging, quick response times, not just quick calls, but making sure that before we get off the call, any other need that they need met is met.
That one thing I've heard from drivers all across the nation, right? Whoever contacts me, let's just say that, right? Is they always say the DeliverThat support compared to their competitors and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It is A1.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you respond to that?
One, I just appreciate it. Hearing that just tells me that what we're doing is working. But we try to be human first and then think about the business second, because we understand life happens, things go on. But we want to make sure that we don't lose that human element when we're engaging with our drivers.
Okay, awesome. Have you taken a delivery?
I have.
Yeah?
I have. I've
How
taken
lo-
several myself.
How large? What was your largest order?
It was only $300. It was actually no setup required. I know we hear that a lot, but they're really happy that we showed up on time with their food. We were kind and courteous, and just, again, before we left, we made sure that all the needs were met and they were satisfied.
So we're hearing some good things, right? We're hearing some good things. What is a tough situation that you recall? It could be 2024 or any previous year. The toughest situation you dealt with regarding a driver and supporting them through their challenge?
So for me, it's routing. A lot of drivers on the ground, they know the city better than we do. We're not there. All we have is a computer and some times and a little bit of detail. So when we have to pull a job because the routing rules, conflict, it's just a tough conversation because I know that it probably could work, but because we have the rules and we got to stick to them, we have to follow through. But that's really hard. We want to have every driver take as many orders as logistically possible. And sometimes when we can't, it's just a tough conversation.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think I've given y'all a hard time with that too. I'm just being honest because there are times that I know my market. I know the shortcuts, right? And I remember hearing for the first time, Google or something like that. Whoever I was speaking to, Google, and I'm like, Google don't know me.
Right.
I know these streets,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can make this trip. I can make it happen. And it was the distance. I knew I was going to take some back roads, right? But, I mean, it is what it is. I had to learn how to let DeliverThat take the wheel. And I had a conversation with Brian. I don't really want to give it up too early, but he said something to me yesterday where it's more like, we don't want to take it from you. We're trying we want you to make the money you want to make, but at the same time, we gotta make sure the route works.
Yeah, it's the happy medium for making sure our drivers are paid.
Yeah.
But then we want the customer to be satisfied, the customer to have their food on time. And we've just experienced times where we were thinking about the driver first in that instance, and then because we were trying to squeeze a route, the customer, it just all fell apart. Customer was really, really upset. So again, we just want to find that happy medium to where the customer is satisfied, but then we still can give enough volume to our drivers to where they're satisfied too.
And more volume means more money.
You already know.
And more satisfied customers mean more orders, more volume, more money. In the end, more money.
More money.
So I appreciate your time, Phil.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, my hand's occupied. We'll do the pound.
I appreciate
it. How's it going, Brian?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm pretty good. Now, what is your position at DeliverThat?
I am a delivery operations supervisor here at DeliverThat.
What is that? What is your responsibilities?
So I come in the morning, and a lot of it is routing with getting drivers prepared for their day, and then throughout the lunchtime hour, it moves to more of a logistics and delivery monitoring, making sure ETAs are going well, wait times aren't getting too long. Just kind of not so much talking to the drivers, but monitoring the drivers, not talking to us.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Let's just say I have 2 orders, and according to routing, everything is good.
Yep.
They're maybe an hour apart, but for some reason, restaurant A is delayed by 45 minutes, and it's going to take them another 30 minutes to get this order done, right? What would you do in your position? What would you do as far as like communicating with a driver about that situation, knowing that they have another one right behind it?
My job is to monitor the distance between those deliveries and actually see logistically how long a driver could particularly wait at that first pickup. And if they weren't able to wait for the second pickup, obviously we're trying to get the main goal is to try to get the food delivered to the customers on time. So that's basically the goal in any situation. So.
All right, so would the driver lose out on the first delivery?
No, our drivers, if they show up to pickup time, they get paid for attempting the delivery. If there's a restaurant delay that they can't wait for, we get them paid, we move them on, and they get paid as if they delivered the order. So it's one good thing about our platform.
You get paid as you like you delivered the order.
Yeah. All you got to do is show up, and you're getting paid.
Well, I appreciate your time, Brian.
Not a problem.
How does it feel to share my name?
I think you might be one of my favorite people to call.
I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. How's it going, sir?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. You are Tristan, correct?
Tristan, yeah.
And you are, aren't you on the podcast?
I was on the podcast before I got my job here as a software engineer.
So you're a software engineer?
Yeah.
All right, too technical for me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, so tell us about your position, like your responsibilities.
Yeah. So basically, like, day-to-day operations require a lot of technical needs, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need to be able to relay information like text messaging, offering deliveries, all this kind of stuff to drivers, and also communicate issues that we have on deliveries and whatnot back to our agents. So there's a lot of, middle ground between what happens out in the field for the drivers and what's happening in here with our agents. So we have to build the bridge between that, right? Also, we would deal with things with obviously the driver application, right? Anything that has a technical need, our agents' user interface, our partners in restaurants' dashboards, things like that, data collection, all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be honest and say that I don't have too many software engineer questions.
Yeah.
But is there any other information that you could give me as to just helping me be successful on the road as a driver?
On the road as a driver. So I worked in dispatch for 4 years, over there, and I saw
In dispatch.
Yeah.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah, I was a dispatch supervisor. Actually, Ben used to be my boss over here.
Uh-oh. Let's look at it. Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I took his job. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I saw a lot of what it took to be successful, and also, what made drivers fail. And I think, man, what's the way to put this? I don't want to. Sticking to the basics, I guess. I mean, delivering food isn't rocket science. You know what I mean? It
Right.
isn't. Like, presenting yourself, as semi-formal to partners, being on time. And when I say partners, I mean restaurants and things like that. And putting your best foot forward, like personality and all that kind of stuff, goes a long way. I've seen a lot of drivers who have done those simple things build relationships with restaurants, and those restaurants request those drivers every time, which in turn puts more money in their pocket.
Yeah.
Which in turn puts also makes that restaurant happy, as well as DeliverThat happy. You know what I mean? So
Awesome.
I think following the basics, like which we try to provide in our help articles, support in your onboarding, the things that you should do. It's actually not difficult at all, but it goes like a really long way because you would be surprised how many people don't put their best foot forward.
Now, the fact that you just said that, right? Let me get myself on camera because they're probably going to know who I'm talking about. Right?
Oh, well, I ain't saying any names.
I know. But here's the thing. I received a comment on one of my videos saying something more about when they would watch my ride-along, they would say something like, why do you talk so much when you go and pick up an order, right? Like what?
To like the person that you're picking it up from?
Yeah, when I'm picking it up, why do I speak to the, why don't I just say, hey, I'm here to pick up order A and just wait for them to hand it to me and then leave?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm trying to build a rapport.
Yeah.
But just to see a comment like that saying like, you know, hey, you're going to throw them off because you're asking so many questions or the way that you communicate.
Too involved or something.
Like too involved. I had someone call me and ask me like, you know, like they wanted to critique my ride-along and the fact that I was just like just communicating.
Yeah.
It almost felt like they were saying that I was over communicating when they're just trying to get their money and get up out of there.
Yeah.
So hearing you say that, I'm always trying to put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
Every single time. And I have built relationships with restaurants, multiple restaurants, and I am one of those drivers that, you know, the restaurant requests.
Yeah, you are.
And I would love for more drivers to be in the type of position that I'm in, not necessarily the tier, right? It's difficult to get to the tier that I'm at, but at least put your best foot forward because you never know if they're going to request you.
Yeah, and in general too, like you have a good point there. Like it's not always just that you are trying to only be successful. In general, this is part of your job that you're spending a lot of time doing this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why not meet people? And just enjoy your time. Like just good energy brings back good things. So if you're spending the time to talk to people at the restaurant, yes, it'll help you be more successful. Yes, it'll further your hopefully widen your wallet, things like that. But in general, at least you're having a good experience and making good experience for other people that you're interacting with. You can't always think of something in a box. Like, this is my job. This is how I make money. This is all I do. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, drive the experience. And I think it's forgotten that, like I said, good energy brings good energy back. Like, it's not just transaction. It's not everything needs to be transactionary. Like, but eventually that's what it becomes. You know?
Yeah. Well, Tristan, I really appreciate the time and even the response that you gave because sometimes, you know, I try to relay the same type of message to drivers and I don't always do a great job at it. So
I think you're doing one of the best jobs out there. So
well, hopefully they heard, you know, and hopefully they see. So I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Melissa with Driver Operations.
And driver operations is your position at DeliverThat?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me some of your responsibilities.
So I'm going to take incoming calls from drivers who don't have live delivery issues. They're going to have issues with policy questions or violations, or maybe they've called in because they're having app issues, or they had maybe some professionalism issues with like our CSRs, our routing team, things like that. I'm going to be taking those incoming calls. I'm also going to call out if we feel like a driver needs a touch point with us. I'm also going to help drivers deal with app issues, things like that.
So let me ask you, do you deal with deactivations or terminations?
Not very often.
Not very often, but...
It's happened once since I've been in this position.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll ask you, but I'll ask someone else as well. Is it easy to get reactivated?
It depends on what happened. So if you were deactivated because we just were not, you know, you had too many violations, maybe you were having a lot of car issues, you had to have a lot of late cancellations. For that, as long as you wait the time period, we can bring you back. We can have a great relationship after that. If you were deactivated because you were having restaurant issues, you were having professionalism issues, that might be a little bit harder.
Okay. Well, what is I've spoken to almost everyone here, okay, and I've heard a lot of good things.
Okay.
I want to know one of the more tougher situations you've had to deal with a driver.
Okay. So we have a driver that wants to work with us, and she is just out of the area.
Okay.
Calls in pretty consistently for a while. How can I get jobs? What can I do? And we could not explain to her, you live too far away from our area.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's almost like reject.
Yeah. We wanted to work with her. She's a great driver. She previously had lived kind of in more of a service area for us. She called in repeatedly. We had several calls back with her. And it's heartbreaking because we want to work with her, and there was nothing we could do.
I mean, when you have so many drivers on the platform, knowing that, a lot of drivers, they sign up and some have a great experience and some have a not so great experience. And then hearing that you have a driver now that wants to sign up but can't sign up because it's outside of the servicing area. Like when you're done with that call, like how do you manage that? Like deal with personally.
It's rough because I when I talk to someone, you hear their story, you know what they're going through, they would be a good driver, they'd be great to work with, they'd be great on a day-to-day, and there's nothing you can do. And at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do but hope that we find more volume where they are. And then we can be like, I know a wonderful person out there. I just talked to them a month ago. I just talked to them last week. Let's see if we can get them called. But all you really can do is move on and put all your effort into helping the next driver, no matter what their problem is.
Well, I appreciate your time, Alyssa. Hopefully I didn't interrupt too much.
No, you're good?
I'm good. All right, awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and you have a good day. Okay, so right now, we're going to head to do a catering delivery, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so just to show what it's like from the driver's perspective, going into a restaurant, pick it up, and then come back. We're gonna set it up too?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, so we're going to McAllister's, right down the road here. Pretty well-known sandwich establishment. Usually it's just like sandwich trays and those platters. So typically there's not gonna be something that fits in the thermally insulated bag, which can make travel a little dicey sometimes if you're trying to keep the sandwiches warm or cool, depending on which one it is. Typically the best option is gonna be like even like the pizza bag. I think you did a driver tip back in the day with the platters going in the pizza bag, something like that. I don't have any on me right now, but luckily we're only going like a quarter mile down the road, so I'm not too worried about temperature. Yeah, McAllister's Deli, picking up some sandwiches for the office should be quick and easy. Usually with the order this large, they like wheel it out to you sometimes to the vehicle, so we'll see what happens.
All right, cool. So I will show y'all that experience from their perspective, and we'll see y'all in a minute.
All right, let's do this. McAllister's Deli, baby. I go to this pickup station. Picking up for DeliverThat, possibly Darian Terrell would be the name. It's a catering order. Yeah.
Is it a big one or a small one?
Probably a bigger one.
Yeah, no,
It's for us? Perfect. You just want to set it on the table here? I'll bag it all up for us. We got chips, got plates. So this looks like it's just chips, silverware, plates. So we'll leave that in those bags. Actually, let's set that down on these chairs. Don't need to worry about bagging that up. Let's get some sandwich emojis in the chat there, YouTube. Sandwich emojis in the chat. Yeah, no worries. Are these all cold subs?
Yes. Yep.
Perfect. Cool. What'd she say?
4 gallons of juice.
Oh, juice. Okay. Cool. Let me just shove those in here for us.
No. Did you guys need ice at all?
No, we'll be good. Thank you so much, though. Cool. Good to go?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I put the cookies on top.
Oh, no, you're good. I just didn't know. Did you guys want a copy of your invoice?
We'll be fine, I think.
Okay.
I appreciate it, though. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Yeah, I would say I'll probably have to get these. Yeah, I'll carry those if you want to grab that. Those are pretty heavy, but yeah, if you can. I just tried to pick it up with one arm and wasn't sure about it.
Here.
I think we'll be okay.
Down. Give me your bag. I'll just walk out with you.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Got some help from other customers, baby. Look at us. That's the small town life I was telling you about. You're not getting that treatment in the big city. We are just out here to the left. Man.
Got you. This is for like a rest or extra. No.
We work for a company headquartered in Belden Village called DeliverThat. It's a third-party catering delivery service. So basically just
Do you guys do anything with gluten-free?
So we just partner with restaurants all over the country. It's really restaurant dependent.
I'm a gluten-free girl, so I'm always like, there's certain ones around here that are good.
Put these over here.
Gentlemen.
Thank you. Now we should be able to fit everything else over here. Yeah, I'll take those last. Let's get the chips and everything in here. Yep.
Can I load them?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you so much. Something I always find interesting, I don't know how you guys feel about it out there, but as a platform, we ask everyone to have the thermal bags or the soft shell bags, right? But then you come to a place like McAllister's, great branding, great catering boxes, right? But they don't fit in the bags. So it's like, I think it'd be nice moving forward, and I know we're gonna get to a place where we're able to do this, where we're able to basically notify drivers or tell you guys what the expectations for the pickup are. You know what I mean? Like what brands provide what kind of packaging, what brands you should expect to have a certain number of bags for, what brands you're not even gonna need bags, because you can't fit a big sandwich catering box in the bag, so why would you waste your time bringing them in? So yeah, it's always kind of interesting navigating that kind of stuff sometimes, but then they're very nice in there. Obviously we got some local help. Nice young woman helped us bring those bags out.
It's always good to get some local help. I don't know if I would have gotten help in Florida. No hit on our Florida people, but at the same time, like, I've been struggling at a door, and some people will just not even hold the door for me.
Oh, we gotta go to Aladdin's for your food.
Yeah, we gotta get my food. He about to go back to the office, eat, and forget about me.
I was in the right lane. Had to merge real quick. That would have been disaster.
But yeah, man, like, don't get me wrong. There are some friendly Florida people. I don't want it to just be like, oh, people from Florida are just mean. Like, no. There are some friendly Florida people, but it's almost hard to come by. Sometimes, you would think that they would help out when they see certain things, but it doesn't always work out the way that you may think. The expectation sometimes is too high.
I think it's just the difference between like the city and suburbs, right? Like the pace of living is so much slower and like calmer here, where you go to New York, LA, Miami, these massive cities, everything's so quick and so fast paced and so like high strung that it's like sometimes you just only have you don't have that mindset to like consider those kind of interactions. Or some people have just so much going on in their own lives where you don't even think about doing what that woman did for us, which was so generous of her.
And then she was asking questions like, hey, what do you guys do?
She's like intrigued, and she's like, oh, she sees the bags, and she's like, oh, like, yeah, there's like a follow-up conversation, right?
Yeah. Gluten-free.
Yeah, I was about to say, she told she was gluten-free.
Yeah.
That's great. McAllister's offers a great gluten-free options and products and a great menu offering, so it's obviously a great selection for people like that who's got those kind of dietary preferences. Good stuff.
All right, awesome. So right now we're gonna go ahead and get me something to eat. and then we're gonna head back to the office to talk to some more people. All right, so see y'all soon. Just one more bag.
I'll answer to anything. Why? You got more? White powder. I think there's one more bag. Well, I think Brian will have to get it. Oh, you're not too long. I didn't know what to do. Iced tea is not ice. Oh, no. White powder.
What's up? What's up? What's up, Jim?
UDM, how we doing, man?
I'm pretty good, man. Hey, Jim, what's your position at DeliverThat?
So I am our e-commerce manager. So I oversee everything that drivers purchase, need to get shipped out, inventory, apparel, do a little design here and there, but mainly focusing on the e-commerce.
Okay.
And that's what you're looking at here, yeah.
So yeah, I see it. We got some new things going on in here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll give you a tour if we want to do like a little MTV crib style.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Go
so we
ahead.
got some driver polos over here. These are the our text logo. So script polo. That's what I'm rocking over here. Down below we got some blue seal polos. Over here are strictly our classic DeliverThat driver polo. So if you are a new driver or an existing driver, these are primarily the polos that you guys will have, but all of these new ones are available at ideliverthat.com/shop. So if you're looking for those, check them out. As we move along, some more text and seal polos just in black and blue. We got some white ones. Not too many drivers like white because they get dirty.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. We got some t-shirts over here. These are our driver DT Seal t-shirts with the little DeliverThat on the sleeve, come in white and gray.
Those are cool, man.
Mm-hmm. And then the classic coming in hot, which I'm sure a lot of the people watching this video, a lot of drivers have, if not have seen, are our classic. Here, let me hold one up. Our DeliverThat coming in hot, just like the food that all y'all are delivering.
Yeah.
So these are all available online at ideliverthat.com/shop. We got a plethora of hats, DT blue, black. There's some white ones in the back. We got some seals if you want to zoom in on these guys. And then the hat that you're rocking, UDM, are these gray Travis Matthews. And these are nice because they got the snapback with the flex brim in there. So, if you got a little bit bigger head, you can grow the hair out, it can still fit.
Now, before you even finish this tour, that specific hat, I did a live stream the other night, and many people want the hat.
Okay.
Many people. I'm talking maybe over 15.
Okay.
In the one live, they all want the hat. How can we work that out?
Well, shoot, the hats are available online at ideliverthat.com, but I think you and I had a little discussion behind the scenes this morning, and we're going to see if we can make something happen specifically for the UDM audience. So, audience, stay tuned for that.
Okay, awesome. All right, now I know you guys got this new bag.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so so these are our standard thermal bags. We got the standard thermal bags. These are all prepackaged, so I could open one up and show you, but primarily the audience knows what I'm talking about. Our soft shells, and then these are the new ones that you're talking about. I'll open one of these guys up because these are a specially made bag that we had designed for the DeliverThat drivers.
Oh, I didn't
know
know
the cool
that
thing about these ones, so they're a little bit heavier duty, so we call them our heavy duty Velcro bags.
Okay.
And the main thing here is that there's no zippers. People hate the zippers. Zippers break,
They break,
come off, whatever. So when you're delivering food, we had these designed that they're Velcro. So you got a nice heavy duty liner inside so that no pans are going to rip them or tear or whatever. And then we removed the zipper and went strictly with Velcro. So that's the high quality Velcro bag. You can find those at deliverthat.com/shop.
What's like the turnaround time if I were to place an order right now for 15 hats?
For 15 hats?
Yeah.
So right now, if you were to place an order for 15 hats and you're currently living in Florida, we work with the great FedEx to ship all of our packages that are getting there in 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
So that's one of the benefits of the shipping. I know people I get a lot of slack about the shipping costs on our site, but we have to do that because we're looking to get our packages in our drivers' hands as fast as possible. Because if you're signing up as a driver, you want to start making money ASAP, right? You want to get that equipment to be able to take those deliveries fast.
Yeah.
So for you, UDM, if you were to order 15 hats, we could probably have them in your hand in, like I said, 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days.
Now, if we need to get them, anything custom made on them, that might take a little bit longer. But if we have the inventory, we can get it out. I'd say in your hands within 3 days.
Okay, that's pretty good. All right, what's the longest that it would take to get to anywhere in the U.S.?
Okay, so getting out to Hawaii will take roughly 7 to 10 days because you got to get it.
That's still not bad.
Not bad. Got to get it West Coast, and then it's got to go from California. So we're here in Ohio. Getting out to the West Coast is going to take 2 to 3 days, and then getting from California out to Hawaii is the longest. And we do business everywhere in the United States. We used to do business up in British Columbia and Canada, and that took a while too because you got to think of geographically where we're from. But anywhere throughout the United States, it's going to get to you within 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
Well, mainland, I should say. Yeah, mainland.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, Jim. Just being here and seeing the inventory. I don't know if all of it is already purchased, but I do have a plan to go shopping on the store.
Okay, and like I said, we'll get you right.
Especially with some more polos, man. I love the polos that I have. I wanted a blue polo.
Okay.
One of these right here. Let me just show the audience. Like one of these
with the text logo on there. Yeah, that's nice.
I do have a polo like that, but it's in black.
Okay.
Right? And I said, you know what? I would love to have some other colors because even though the polos are nice, I've worn them a few times. They don't shrink.
They don't shrink.
They don't shrink. That's awesome. But I would love to have some kind of variety throughout the week.
Okay. Okay.
And just rolling with the black, even though it's just 2 separate types of polos that I have. What do you call this logo?
This is our seal, the DeliverThat seal.
I have. Oh, this is the one that I have.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Even if I have those 2, the one with the seal and the one with the text that's in black, I would prefer to at least have a variety.
Okay. Okay.
A blue one. I don't have any T-shirts. Do you have a white polo?
Oh, we got some white polos. Yeah, that's what
I wouldn't even mind a white polo.
Yeah, we got the white polos up there. But yeah, like I said, delivering food, get one little spill on you. So you're flirting with disaster with the white.
Well, at the same time, if you feel that way, why would you have these then?
Special request, I'll put it that way.
Special request. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Jim.
Yeah, man.
And I look forward to more bags.
More bags.
I want one of those. I'll definitely.
The high quality ones?
Yeah, the high quality ones. I've heard great things about them.
The high qualities are great, and they're the straps on so our regular bags we have what we call the double X stitching, so they can carry up to 60 pounds of food in one bag, so they're reinforced.
Right.
But those heavy duty bags, they can carry up to 150. So they
150 pounds.
We stress tested them. We put some dumbbells in them and held them, and they hold up. So.
And do they fit the pans, the aluminum pans, easily?
Yes, they do. And that's another nice thing about that lining in there is it's not. I want to say the lining in the normal thermal bags they're not like aluminum foil, but they're a little bit thinner material than our high quality. Right. And the high quality is almost like a more durable like rubber, so it's not going to rip if you have a sharp edge of an aluminum pan putting it down in your bag. And like I said, a big complaint that we hear is zippers break all the time. If you try to stuff a bag too full, that zipper might come off. The Velcro can eliminate that problem. So maybe down the road we'll look to replace the zipper on our regular thermal bags with Velcro, but for now we're testing it out in the heavy duties.
Well, I appreciate your time, Jim.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, and have a good day. Hello, the man of the hour.
What's up? You want me to hold this?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Should I just hold this right here?
Yeah, that's your microphone, man. So, Derek.
What's up?
How's it going, first off?
Well, it was a long day today, Brian. I won't lie to you.
Okay.
Phone didn't stop ringing.
No?
but set a record today, so that's always good news.
All right, awesome. So, Derek, what's your position at DeliverThat?
So I am a restaurant experience specialist, if you want to get down to what the actual title's called. But
Yeah, break that down for us.
so basically, all of our direct partnerships we have, we got our Easy Cater orders that drivers see on the platform, and then the direct submissions that don't have the Easy Cater in there. All those restaurant contracts, I'm handling the direct relationship with the GMs. Driver shows up, doesn't set up the food correctly. They're calling me, and I'm trying to figure that out.
So you
food
get
gets
the
dropped to the wrong spot.
You get the complaints.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like a firefighter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Firefighter, putting out fires.
Yeah, exactly, all day long, right.
Okay, so you know what? Let me pull up a chair
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
no. This is interesting. I got to get in and get comfortable because, I've heard some stories for myself.
And I will answer as many of them as I can.
Now, I'm not trying to hold you here too long, but at the same time, I would love to hear the types of complaints that you hear from restaurants about the drivers that they experience.
Okay. So like the negative merchant feedback is what we usually call that. So,
I feel it's important for drivers to hear what not to do.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so the biggest one we get is with our Mexican cuisine restaurants, like your Cadobas and things like that, and Moe's is they give you the sternos to set up, and then drivers aren't setting it up to completion. And a lot of those customers are throwing the tip on those deliveries for you to set it up to completion, right? So if you're not setting it fully up, the customer doesn't feel like they should give you that full gratuity amount, right? Things like that.
Okay.
So those places want their food set up all the way and their sternos set up, where you're lighting them, making sure the food stays hot, those kind of things. So from those kind of restaurants, that's the one I see. Just not reaching out to the customer. So the instructions say in the drop-off instructions in your app, please reach out to the customer upon arrival.
Yeah.
Drivers just walking inside saying, where do I put this? Not reaching out to the customer, and then just leave it at the first convenient place they see and then just taking off. I get the restaurant calling me saying, hey, did your driver ever try and reach out? So that's another common one I get. And then just tardiness, just not being to the pickup on time.
But what if the driver actually did try to reach out, but maybe it was different contact information?
Yeah, so when drivers can't reach on the first call, when they try and reach out to the customer, we tell them to call the hotline and let us know, hey, I'm on site. I can't get a hold of the customer. I don't see them at the location of where I'm supposed to go based on the drop-off instructions. Like, follow the instructions first.
Right.
It tells you step-by-step most of them what to do. Some of them, though, are very vague. So you might not know exactly how to complete the delivery. So reach out to us, because then, one of our agents gets it. They can pass to me saying, hey, this driver's at the drop-off, but they can't get a hold of the customer. They don't want to just leave the food somewhere.
Right.
Can you reach out to the restaurant, see if they have a second contact, see if there's more info they got for the customer, things like that? Because sometimes the restaurant might have more info that they just didn't submit to us and put through the app.
Gotcha.
So they might be able to tell me things that I can then relay to you as the driver, and in a few minutes, instead of just dropping it and leaving, 3 minutes on wait while you're waiting there with the food, we'll get the answer for you and figure it out for you.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how stressful is your position?
Today was about an 8.5. But from what I've heard from people who worked here when I was a driver and not working
you
in the
were
company.
a driver?
Oh, yeah, for like 3.5, 4 years before I started this position.
Were you ever elite?
Yeah. Yep,
Oh,
in
you were an
Phoenix.
elite driver?
Elite driver in Phoenix, yep, for 3 years.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Hold on. We gotta talk a little bit more.
No, we can talk about all that, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead. Finish what you were saying before we get into that.
What were we talking about before I got to the elite driver? What were we asking me?
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, 8.5 today. 8.5,
Right,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
No, just there was a lot of high volume today. And anytime it's high volume, it's not anything our drivers are doing. There's just going to be issues that happen. Not every delivery is going to go perfect. And my problem is I take it to heart every delivery. I want every delivery to go perfect, but I'm learning that's just not reality, right? Things are going to happen. So trying to roll with the punches, as they go. But stressful just from the phone nonstop ringing, but other than that, there could be worse things to be doing. So the stress level is high, but it's really not that. It's not that bad compared to other things.
Okay, awesome. So now let's just get into elite driver to DeliverThat HQ. How did that happen?
Well, I don't want to spoil Ben's Meet, the team that we might have one day, right? But I don't want to give you all the info about things that happen.
No worries.
I'm just I've been friends with the guys who started the company for a long time, like my whole life. And so when they started the company, they needed drivers. I started driving, but then, I've always wanted to eventually get behind the scenes, and just way of life kind of worked out to where it all kind of like fell in place. And it started about 8 months ago, like actually in office. So
Okay.
I only got a full year under my belt here yet.
So you moved from Phoenix to Ohio to be here full time?
Yeah. Yep. So I was, we'll just real quick. I was coaching basketball. Pandemic happened. I wanted to go somewhere warm. I was coaching here in Ohio.
You said
here.
Ohio is warm?
No. Wanted to go somewhere warm.
Oh, okay.
I was in Ohio, and I was like, COVID happened. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to go somewhere warm. I'm not going to sit in Ohio if there's nothing going on. At least maybe good
Right.
weather. Went to Phoenix. They needed more drivers at the time. This was 3.5 years ago, right? Not the driver fleet we have now.
Right.
And so I had been driving in Canton before that, and then I moved to Phoenix, became an elite driver, and then kind of did the elite thing for 3 years, and then opportunity presented itself for this position, and this kind of went along with just my life as growing up stuff. My dad's had a restaurant when I was growing up, so I'm just handling people like my dad the whole time. It's pretty. It makes it pretty. It
That's
makes
right
it
up
easier
your
for me.
alley.
Yeah. So I'm like the way I look at it every time is I'm just handling people like my dad.
That is awesome.
So like I've seen behind the scenes what restaurant GMs have to go through.
Yeah.
So like I understand you're upset because your food didn't get where it was supposed to go. I get that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and make it the best situation I can.
Okay.
It's screwed up, but I'm gonna try and make it right. So.
Now it's very interesting just to hear the different things. Me as a driver on the road, I'm not thinking about what every other driver is doing.
Right.
But just to hear that drivers are dropping it off at the wrong location when there's information about it, or not contacting the customer when they want to be contacted when they arrive. Stuff like that.
I think a part of it, Brian, is people are in a hurry. People are so quick to want to get the job done and move to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, we got your back. Like, we'll inform the next one, like, hey, this driver's running 10 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Don't try and rush with the one you're doing now to get the next one started. We're going to make sure you're taken care of if that's going to affect your pay, things like that, because that one stopped you or that one made you late, things like that.
Yeah.
We don't want you to rush the quality of the setup and quality of what DT offers these customers because you think you need to get to the next job and complete that one. No, let's take care of the one that's you're on now, swiping through those steps, the one you're currently active on. You haven't even marked the next one underway yet. Let's worry about the one we are underway on. Make sure that gets to the customer, make sure that gets set up. We'll take care of you if you have to wait too long or different things like that. Go to a different address because you got a bad one.
Yeah.
We'll take care of the compensation part of it. Let's just make sure the customer gets taken care of, right?
Yeah.
That's the main goal.
As a driver, I'll just say this last thing, and then we could restart. I'll let you go about your way. But I will. Okay, first I'm a driver, right? And I've experienced while on a delivery, I do have another one coming up right behind it.
Right.
But then I'll receive a notification telling me to start the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So just speaking from a driver's perspective, I can tell you that I've been in a position where I'm like, oh, well, I got this next one. I got to hurry up. I got to hurry up. Let's go because I got this next one because I just got this notification.
Yeah.
So I guess all I can say there is it's not, I'll speak for myself.
Okay.
It's not 100% my fault before hearing what you just said to just think like, I got to hurry up.
Yeah, right.
Because there is that notification, right? But hearing that I don't have to rush.
No. That's
you guys already understand.
We're saying I want drivers to know that we're sending those notifications as preemptive measures to help you not get yourself in trouble on the delivery, right?
Yeah.
It's all just I understand when you see something from the company you work for and it's a text, you're like, oh shoot, this is something I need to react right away, which is great. We want drivers to pick up when we call, answer our text when we text, things like that, right? But we're just letting you know, hey, we want to know that you're active and you know this job's coming. We want to know that you're aware of it. That's all.
Yeah.
So, and even if it's like, hey, I'm finishing up this one, so I haven't started the next one yet, our agents understand that. And we'll be like, okay, cool. Can you just go ahead and click that job and start it for me? That's all it is. You over-communicate.
Yeah.
It's like people are like, oh, I don't want to bother them, things like that. No, bother us. Please.
Please.
Because then it makes our job easier. We have more ammo to go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of these restaurants want to I don't want to say blame the driver, but they do, right? They want to, but I mean, sometimes it's not their fault. And so the more ammo you give us to back your story up and take care of you and help you, it's great for me. When I go into a delivery and the driver's texted me 3 times telling me what's happened, and I can then go on the phone and just read off the screen to the restaurant GM, hey, this is what they told me.
Yeah.
You tell me if that's true or not, and then we'll start going from there, right?
That's cool.
But let's take care of this first, because this is what I'm being told.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I appreciate all the information
Absolutely,
from the
man.
perspective that we never even really get a chance to hear.
Yeah, it's cool seeing it from being an elite driver and then now seeing behind the scenes, right? It's just like, as a driver, there were times where I thought, oh, they're trying to, take my money, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to make this money and they're not letting me make it. It's like, now I see it from this side is, we're just trying to make sure that you get the food to customers on time, and then that we get it from the restaurant to you, right?
Yeah.
So like, just making sure that flows. And it's just so that customers aren't calling complaining about their food being late, is a majority of the time why we would pull a delivery from someone.
Understood.
Because when we're a certain amount of time late, that's dollars it's costing us, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want to cost the driver money, and we don't want drivers to cost us money, which
Right.
then costs us restaurant money, right?
Yeah.
Just an endless circle of everybody wants to
man.
make their money, and we're trying to just make it smooth as possible or no one gets in trouble.
And if everyone is not making their money, everyone is upset.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be upset too, right?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, well, I appreciate the time. Listen, I fly out tomorrow. I hope I can come back here and meet you guys again. Especially maybe stay even longer. This was like a 2-day trip, but it was nice
Went by
meeting you,
pretty
man.
quick, huh?
It went by quick. It felt like, dude, I just got here yesterday.
Right? Right.
Literally,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But now, just meeting you, just seeing you work, I have some footage of you working and just trying to resolve a quick rescue issue, man. It's like, I'm like intrigued because I'm like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah,
You
all the
know,
work that
so-
goes into just rescuing one.
Just rescuing one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I felt bad for you. But you were handling it.
Hey, once you get used to the denial, right? It's like asking a girl to prom. You ask all the good-looking ones. Sometimes you gotta settle. So it's like you call drivers. You call 10, they say no. The 11th might say yes. So
Okay.
you just gotta keep firing. It's all right.
Derek, I appreciate your time, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you stopping by, man. It was awesome.
All
It was
right,
great
awesome.
meeting
And see you on the next one.
you. Oh yeah.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
How you doing?
This is Layla Mouse. How you
Yeah,
been, man?
I'm pretty good, man. Listen, all right, so the microphone,
How close?
you just hold it however you wish to move. Just make sure you got to hold it to your mouth, though.
I
Just
feel like I'm on like a money YouTube channel or something.
Hey, you know what I'm
I'm about
saying?
to win the prize.
And we got matching hats.
Hey, let's go! Just grab these together.
Yeah,
Let's
so
go.
so listen, if you don't know who this is Christian. Do I really need to tell you what his position is at DeliverThat? Well, you know what? For those that don't know, Christian, what's your position at DeliverThat?
VP of Partnerships, formerly VP of Operations for like 4 years. So, yeah, partnerships is new for me. Restaurants, elite drivers, that's the game.
See, I was going to say operations.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I'm glad I gave it to you.
You did have to tell him. Yeah.
All right, so what are some of your responsibilities here?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. So, quick recap. I've been here for 8 years. So, have done a lot of the infrastructure work to get us to this point, right? Now we have a tech team. So, I still dabble a little bit in helping us transition into like the actual tech world that we're getting into now, and help the team out there. Built a lot of the recruiting stuff. So, I still have a big hand in how drivers are onboarded, how our top tier drivers, preferred and elite drivers are managed day to day when it comes to support. But yeah, a lot of my role now as opposed to VP of Ops is the restaurant side. So I do status calls, onboarding calls with every direct restaurant partner that we work with.
Okay, all right. So from a driver's perspective, let's just talk about drivers real quick. And how about tiers, right?
Yep.
The elite tier is a popular tier.
Sure,
sir.
big
Okay?
topic of conversation.
Everybody wants to be an elite driver.
Yep.
Okay, but there's also the fear of oversaturation. When I've heard you say, we don't want to oversaturate a tier or the elite tier.
Yep.
Like, what does that mean exactly? Like, say, I don't know how many we have in my market,
Yep.
Miami, for those that don't know. But let me put myself on screen for those that don't know, right? It's a tier 1 market.
Yep.
And tier 1 meaning it's very busy, okay? And how many elite drivers are there? Are you able to share that with me?
Across the country?
No, in my market.
In your market, I want to say, don't quote me, I want to say there are 4.
There's 4.
I want to say there are 4.
Okay.
There's not more than 4. There might be one less than 4.
Okay. So as an elite driver, can I know in the future, is there like a cap of the amount of elite drivers that would be in a specific market like mine?
It's market dependent. We have a rough formula that we used based on the average deliveries that are being completed by elite drivers and then the total deliveries that are in the city. But when you say, and I say, we don't want to oversaturate, that to me doesn't always just mean oversaturate with elite drivers. That means oversaturate in elite drivers compared to total volume and the rest of the fleet, right? So it's not just you versus the other elite drivers.
Okay.
But you have to think, if we had 20 or 30 elite drivers in a city like Miami, even though there are tons of deliveries, right? Now you guys are competing with each other, but more than that, you're holding on to deliveries that could be offered out to all of the drivers, right? How would you ever become elite in Miami if there's already 30 elite drivers and they're taking all of the deliveries, right? So there's part of it that is spread the wealth type of mindset, right? We don't want to oversaturate and then nobody eats.
For those that are not at my tier, a lot of people are struggling in the sense of being able to grab orders.
Yeah.
I've heard many complaints about how difficult the exam is for the preferred driver tier, right? What can I don't even know what I can ask at this moment in front of you about the exam as far as making it easier.
Yeah. I'll say this. So we're talking preferred driver quiz and how to pass that. Yeah, so the preferred driver quiz, and this is live updates, just like you finding out my new title, right? Last week, complete revamp of it, right? So right now, every question on the preferred driver test is different than it was 2 weeks ago. I think this was Wednesday of last week. It got a revamp, and that was based on driver feedback. Now, am I going to sit here and say to you that it is easier now than it was? Maybe not. But
okay.
Right? We don't want to oversaturate any tier, and we want being a preferred driver with us to mean something.
Yeah.
Right? And right now, current state, we're not requiring that all preferred drivers have carts, have done 100 deliveries, and like have jumped through a ton of hoops. So it is really important to understand how catering's different and how it impacts customers, impacts restaurants, right? So the revamp of the quiz, I'll be interested to hear any feedback you have if you take a look at it, and any of your guys' feedback now that we have changed those things.
I know drivers that have complained about taking this exam or this. Is it a quiz or exam? I want to make sure I get this verbiage correct.
I would call it e-learning.
E-learning.
You complete a little e-learning, but you got to answer questions. It's a quiz.
Okay.
It's a quiz.
So I know it's not just the elite tier that DeliverThat doesn't want to oversaturate.
Yeah.
Right. It's across the board, but making it easier for everyone to get the badge, wouldn't that cause some level of oversaturation for those that see it after the elite tier?
I'll say this. While you can one-to-one go find all the answers to the quiz, you will have to read through some of those things. And I think in our experience, because we've now been doing the e-learning stuff really since like COVID hit, it forced us to transition.
Yeah.
Watching a short video and then just you can keep clicking replay. Going and reading an article in depth for yourself can sometimes drop people's attention and make it more challenging to go find the answers. The other thing that I'll say, some of the questions are very specific to the routing policies. And I know anybody watching this content right now, if you're driving with DeliverThat consistently, you understand you have some options and you deal with our routing team to make sure your route works, right?
Right.
This is really making sure that that tier of driver, you're going to have a little bit more access to deliveries than the tiers below you. You know how to route yourself and you know what our routers are looking at. So from that standpoint, some of them are logistical questions. If you have this delivery, and this delivery, which two go together? If you have these 5, which 3 go together? So from that standpoint and having to think about logistics a little bit, that is tricky. You can go look at our routing guideline rule, but you got to do a little math, a little something to figure out what the right route is.
Well, Chris, I call you Chris. I know your name is Christian.
Christian, all good, all good.
All right, I appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know you have been busy. Oh man.
Now you get to see what it looks like. I'm just this room, that room.
Now at
out
least
on
I
the
know
floor
why you
when
don't
it's
respond to me when I text.
Yeah, sure. I always make sure somebody does.
I'm just kidding. But at the end of the day, I always knew you were one of the busier ones, you know?
Sure.
So I try to get answers, if I can get answers, from anyone that could give me answers.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess the last question I'll ask is this experience more set in stone? I know, all right, so last year, July, some policies were changed for the elite tier and then the preferred and then the same day and everything, right? Do you feel like this is more set in stone for years to come, or is there a possible change at some point that we should expect? Because as an elite driver going through that experience that I had when the policy changed, it kind of like maybe a little bit it got me a little bit on edge. Like, if they change the policy again, what will the new experience be like?
Yeah.
So is it going to be set in stone moving forward, or there's a possible change down the road?
I think I would be lying to say that anything here is set in stone.
Okay.
I also think that I trust the leadership team that we have now more than ever, and we have added more and more people to it.
Okay.
We're going to continue to add people from the industry, whether that's the tech industry or the food tech industry, those type of leaders to our team, right? Our focus is always going to be the driver experience, and I think that will continue to get better, but part of us getting better is change, right?
Yeah.
We've acknowledged we're not perfect. No driver on our platform is going to say, like, DT is perfect. Some drivers in some markets have a better experience than other drivers. Some drivers have an incident on their profile and have a bad experience with our support team. We got to level up in every single way. So as it pertains to how we offer deliveries to drivers, the app experience that you have, the experience you have with our support team, I hope that it keeps changing, and I hope that it keeps getting better. And I've been here for 8 years, started as a driver. Our leadership, our CEO, our founders, everyone started as a driver that's kind of sitting at the top of this company. So I hope you trust us. I hope anyone seeing this trusts us that the changes will continue to come, but for the better. When I meet drivers in a city and they're like, you guys aren't going to do what Uber did or what Lyft did, because when I started, I was getting paid and I was making so much money, and then they changed the pay rate, and then they changed the pay rate again, and they used to do these surges and these specials. Then they got a ton of drivers and they just quit paying us. Well, that's not the goal. We used a bunch of third-party technology, and once we own that technology, I think we can really customize the experience given your feedback and people who are giggers, you know, people who do this.
So if it's not broke, why try to fix it?
I think that it's kind of like you can always get better as a person. It's the same thing with the platform, right? You might think you hit a PR on the bench, and it would be silly of you to be like, I'll never be able to lift heavier. Well, put a penny on top of it and you just got stronger, right? So that would be my thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Might be a saying, but if it's not broke, why not improve it?
Okay. And I was just asking for myself, just to be selfish. I'm just going to be upfront and say that, because the experience that I had when the policy was changed, the first 3 weeks, I wasn't able to get anything. And when you rely on a certain app to make money and, it just kind of like goes blank on you, I think anyone would go into a bit of a panic mode trying to figure out what's going on, right? So I wanted to at least know if there's any change from what I'm used to now. What should I expect? Should I be ready to panic again? Because, that's what happened. But I know the experience that I had, and I'll say this to you, the experience that I had when the policy changed and the experience I understand now, it got better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It did get better.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just over here just panicking for no reason.
Well, I think too, because I had a flashback in my mind, and I think I was same office, different layout in here, but you and I actually had a conversation when we made that change and you were having some of those struggles. I think some of our biggest lessons are not to not change or to fear change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we might break something and we can always fix it.
Yeah.
but it's how we communicate change to the people that make DeliverThat what it is.
Yeah.
Right? How do we communicate that message? How do we educate our elite drivers all the way to drivers who started yesterday? How do we educate them on what is changing, why it's changing, and how to maximize it, right? Because we talked, and I kind of walked you through some of the rules being an elite driver, and you were like, so I should be going online at these times, not these times.
Yeah.
And it was like we had a light bulb moment together there on the phone, and maybe 2 days later you text me and we're like, all right, this is working. Do you remember that, though?
I remember
that? You remember that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing for us, don't fear change, but communicate it right to your most important people, whether that's people out here supporting our drivers or the drivers who power everything.
Well, I appreciate you, Chris.
Yeah.
And I would love to get you on my podcast, man.
Let's do it again.
I mean, not again. We've never done it.
I was on the live? That was different.
No, the live stream is a different thing.
Whole different thing.
Right? The podcast is just more audio, more phone conversation.
Okay.
Right?
It's tough talking to a serial entrepreneur. You got all these different
all
avenues.
These different things. Yeah.
What was I on, though? It was like a Saturday morning.
Yeah, that was a live stream.
Okay.
You could call that a live podcast.
Okay.
Right? But this one is just more audio, and I release it every Sunday.
Sweet.
Right? And it's basically Breakfast with UDM, and there's a whole introduction and outro. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Okay, I'll share one of the episodes with you.
Yeah.
They run about maybe 30 to 40 minutes, you know, sometimes a little bit over, but nothing. The longest episodes is maybe like an hour.
Yeah.
Or hour and 22. Don't quote me on that for those that watched it or listened to it, but I like to keep them between 30 to 40 minutes, you know.
So it's not like a Joe Rogan. If it ain't 4 hours, it's a bad.
No. So I would love to invite you to be a guest on the podcast.
Sweet.
So we could maybe discuss certain things that we may not even need to put on camera.
Yeah.
Right. So I appreciate the time. I appreciate the team taking care of me. You are the last interview of the day because you were the most busiest.
Sure.
But I think that's pretty much it. I'm lost for words from the just the experience coming here and understanding and just being treated like I say royalty because that's how I truly feel.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just at that point, man.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's really cool because a lot of our team has maybe caught glimpses of some of the content, especially when you joined our podcast, did like a driver spotlight, some stuff like that. But a lot of them don't know you from the content, right? It's like we had to let everyone know there's gonna be filming going on. UDM is this, UDM. But it was like, oh, that's the elite driver from Florida that's always calling us out when we're slow to text back. That's the guy who's getting requested by restaurants every single day.
Yeah.
So I think the royalty feeling wasn't because anybody was starstruck. Like, oh, I've seen his YouTube videos. It was like, I help this guy all the time, and restaurants request him every day. This guy rocks. And then you pull out a camera and you add something to it. There's a little flair. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Christian, VP of Partnerships.
Restaurant guy.
The restaurant guy. All right. This is pretty much the end of the experience at DeliverThat, and it's been a blast. I just got through doing the live town hall with them, and it's just been a blast.
And that it was, D-Fam, a blast. Felt like my trip was too short, but no worries. I'll be back and I'll try to get a later flight so Ben can get some rest. Thanks again, DeliverThat, for allowing me to get these questions answered in person. And D-Fam, if you made it this far in the video, slap a like on it. And I'll see you in the next one.
As long as someone is talking about how good of a driver you are to DeliverThat, that way they can know about who you are and then get your deliveries up, and then everything will be good to go. That's the best way I can tell you to set yourself apart from everyone else. And have equipment. Use the equipment, please. Too many times I've gone to restaurants and they are praising me for just rolling in with 2 bags in a cart.
Till I find what's worth my time, cause I gotta remind them how an IC is defined. We're independent, it's all business, so don't get in your feelings. Make your decisions and keep it pushing from start to finish. They gon' try to confuse ya. use and abuse ya. So take this blueprint and follow these shoe prints. On this ride